Okay, this is Tate on Tucker Carlson.
He thought if they don't want us to hear Andrew Tate talk, maybe he's worth listening to, and he turned out to be very worth listening to. Our interview with him, straight ahead. Andrew Tate is a former kickboxer who's built up a truly enormous following on social media. Until a couple months ago, we'd never heard of him. And then the other day, virtually every tech company on the planet banned him.
And don't get this twisted, chat. They all had a meeting. Facebook, Google, Twitter, TikTok, they all got together, called each other up. Ban him?
Ban him.
Ban him. We got him.
Not just his presence, but also his ability to conduct business on the internet. He was taken off Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. Then they started telling you that not only was he not allowed to talk, but that you weren't allowed to like him because he was an incredibly bad person. And our view on that always is we'll decide for ourselves, since we're adults and Americans, and we'll listen to anyone.
I can't believe how woke the world's getting that I'm actually watching Tucker Carlson right now. I was never really a right-wing person. It's just the wokies got so woke they make no goddamn sense that here I am watching Fox News with my grandfather.
We want, and we'll come to any conclusion we care to come to about what that person is about. So we sat down at some length and talked to Andrew Tate, and we wanted to show you some of it so you could make up your own mind, which you're still allowed to do as far as we're concerned. Here's part of the interview.
I don't really feel like I've exposed anything. Like, I'm truly...
Look what happened to Tay. He's in a bathroom now. What happened to the studio? They took everything. Like,
where's
God.
The hose? Where's the mansion?
Where's the masseuse? Where's the Bugatti, man? Free Tay.
Not a very political person. This is the first time someone's experienced this level of ban. I'm not particularly right-wing. I don't vote. I mean, I obviously have my own personal views, but they didn't ban me for that. They banned me simply because I had large swaths of the population agreeing to very traditional masculine values. Teenage men and young men, 20.
This dude was just sparring, man. Look at his face.
22, 23, 24, were looking up to me and aspiring to be like me. I have a very traditionally masculine life. I have fast cars and a big house and a lot of money and a beautiful girlfriend. And they thought this was very, very threatening. And for some reason, they decided that it's better if they annihilate me from the internet and replace me with somebody who's more aligned with whatever they're trying to purport.
Tell us what your message is to young men.
Yeah, so I think that being a man is very, very difficult. I think that men...
They deleted him because he was trying to bring masculinity back in a world where they're actively trying to get rid of masculinity because power is the biggest threat to the agenda. So he's trying to bring it back. They got scared. Delete him. They don't want you to hear the fact that he's just telling men to be men and women to be women. Because you know what they're trying to do? Turn men into women and women into men. It's against the agenda.
Issues are largely overlooked. The people in charge of the world pretend to care, but when somebody who's championing men's issues like myself comes forward and finally manages to garner huge percentiles of the public support, I'm silenced. So they're not really interested in men's issues. And there's a lot of young men growing up today that feel very disaffected. They feel invisible. The agendas that are being forced down their throats are not agendas they align with or they feel affinity to or agendas they want. And I basically just say to men, look, it's a very hard life. You're going to need to get up, work hard, go to the gym. Strong body is a strong mind. You're going to have to reject listening blindly to everything you're told, reject the slave mind, think for yourself, get a strong network of brothers, work aside them. Don't tolerate low-quality people in your life, which means don't tolerate men who just smoke drugs and play video games.
I don't do drugs.
Or men who are disloyal or dishonest.
Now you look, yeah. Don't look, why are you looking at me like that, bro? Why are you looking at me like that?
Play me.
Who's trying to play you? Who's trying to play you? Chill out.
What's that chat? What that chat say? I want to debate him.
Let's watch this. Let's watch this. I will watch after.
By extension, don't tolerate women or girlfriends who are disloyal or dishonest, and try and build and create a reality full of high-quality people in which you can resist the programming that the Matrix tries to influence you with, and grow up truly happy. And what happens is when I say these things, they ignore 95% of what I say.
And they focus on the 5% to take them down. Why? Because the 95% is information that you're not supposed to hear. They don't want you to improve. They don't want you to become stronger. They don't want you to become rich. They want you to stay in the Matrix. So they focus on the 5% that's going to trigger all the bots, all the normies, so they can silence the real message. It's not misogyny, toxic. It's bigger than that. He's trying to help people out. So chat, we got to carry the message on. We need to improve. We can't just be bots in the matrix. We need to resist what they're trying to do. They're trying to suppress you. They want you to take meds. They want you to shut up, not have any unique opinion. Nobody even has any original thoughts anymore. People are so afraid to speak and have an original opinion that when you ask them, they don't even know what to say. All they say is exactly what everybody else says. Tate was saying, resist that.
They ignore me saying that you need to avoid low-quality men, and they take the bit where I say avoid women who are dishonest, and then they put it on a reel, a very short 3 or 4 second clip, and then they say I'm a misogynistic person and I'm dangerous to women and I need to be banned. The problem is that the majority of young men in the world today are completely invisible, and social media has made them invisible. If you go into an Instagram feed, it's fine. They're beautiful. They're allowed to take pictures. But the only men who have followers are men with massive social status, right? Men with Ferrari.
And you could be a thought, not even a thought, you could be a gorgeous girl and have thousands and thousands of followers, have people worshiping you every single time you post without ever saying anything original, having no thoughts that anybody else thought. You could be a thought, have no thoughts, and get millions and millions of followers. But to be a man and get the same amount of respect, I realized this when I was in Miami with my girl. And I just had 1 million subscribers, and I was walking around, and then people were coming up to me and like, hey, yo, I like your videos, man. Like, this is before I was streaming. Yo, I like the video you made. That was cool. That was cool. And the same amount of time, people went up to my girl. I love what you do with your hair. I like your nails. I like, wow, you look really pretty. It was the same amount of compliments, the same amount of dopamine. It's like, bro, I just spent fucking 9 years to get 1 million subscribers to get this plaque, and she's getting the same amount of respect on the street doing nothing, just washing her hair. The life of a man is harder, but the potential's way higher. I prefer this life, but you gotta work to get it. And a lot of people simply don't understand that.
And money, or rappers, or people who have YouTube channels, interesting people. If you're a normal man with a normal job, you don't really exist in the online world. It's very difficult to get followers. Nobody replies to your DMs. You don't really matter. You don't have access to the sexual marketplace. It's very difficult for you to even get any kind of recognition that you're even alive. And a lot of men feel lost and lonely because of that. And I was championing to a degree their issues by saying to them, look.
And they want all these men to be lonely. And one more time, I'm gonna say it. 1 in 3 men haven't had sex or are a virgin. Haven't had sex in a year or are a virgin. 1 in 3 guys. Today, yeah, in the Western world. 1 in 3 guys, here chat, have not had sex in a year or are virgins, man. Being an average man is being at the bottom now. Being the bare, like, you have to be smart, you need to be cunning, you need to be funny, you need to be interesting, you need to have a car, you need to be different, you need to be unique, you need to have a personality, and a girl can just simply show up. But they don't want you to know that.
Where did you get that stat from?
That's a common stat. You want me to look it up?
Yeah.
That is unfair, perhaps, but that's the way the game works. You need to become a man of importance. You need to become a man of influence, or you're going to suffer the pain of being invisible forever. Here
we go. Here's a stat. Nearly 1 in 3 young men in the U.S. report having no sex, study finds. 1 in 3 men ages 8 to 24 reported no sexual activity in the past year.
Yeah.
There you go.
Who are they asking?
Okay, bro, but this is...
I'm not really taking that stat.
Okay, sure, fine.
It's like those,
here is how you do it. I wasn't trying, or you're going to suffer the pain of being invisible forever. Here is how you do it. I wasn't trying to change the rules of the game. I was just telling the men how to win, because I came from nothing and I'm completely and utterly self-made. And I think the reason a lot of men are so depressed is because they feel invisible. They feel like the life is too hard. Women expect me to be strong and smart and funny and interesting with a nice apartment and a fast car and tall and well-connected and funny. And it's just too much for them to handle. And the social pressure on men is absolutely immense. And I was championing their issues. And at the same time, all these social media platforms pretend to care. As soon as somebody they resonate with stands up and champions their issues, they mass blanket ban me.
Because they want you to be weak so they can profit off of you. It's very simple. The weaker men are, the more money we give away to OF, the more time we spend addicted on Tinder, Instagram, OnlyFans, the more we spend all day scrolling, the sadder we get, the more we obey. The weaker you are, the easier you are to manipulate. They want you to stay addicted. They want you to be giving all your money away to thoughts, and they want to separate traditional gender roles.
Which shows they have absolutely no care for the young men of the world today. They think that by banning me, I'm just going to vanish, and the young men are just going to go and start eating the gruel that they're fed on their YouTube feed. They don't want to read. They don't want to see transgender people wear makeup. They don't want to see that. They want to see a man who has a bunch of money and a nice life and some fast cars and is strong and is confident. They want an action hero. And that's something that large portions of the world still want to be. And YouTube and social media platforms obviously just don't like the idea of that. They want as far more malleable, trying to create people which are more malleable and more easy to program and more easy to control.
So news accounts in the United States say...
Did you see that edit? Was that an edit?
This whole thing's been chopped up.
Like the idea of that.
This
They
isn't the
want
full
as
thing.
far more malleable, trying to create people which are more malleable and more easy to program and more easy to control.
So news accounts in the United States say that the U.S. Embassy in Bucharest, Romania, was tipped off to your misdeeds and alerted the local authorities you might be committing human trafficking. Given that this is the same charge they leveled against Julian Assange or a species of it, you know, skeptical, but I want to know the details. Were you arrested for human trafficking? What happened?
Yeah, I was not arrested. So what happened is...
I'm so tired. Chad, how many of you are just sick of hearing this over and over and over and over again?
I suffered from a case of swatting. It's very popular with people who are large on the internet. Many large YouTubers have been swatted. It's where you call the police and you say somebody has a gun or there's a hostage situation and the SWAT team arrives. Somebody made a phone call to the American Embassy saying that I was holding women at my house. The police arrived. And let me state this now. I state this openly to the world. I have absolute respect for the police. I would hate to live in a country where if you call the police saying women are being held against their will, that the police don't respond. That would be terrible. Of course they should come and look. Absolutely. They turned up. They investigated. They realized that nobody was in the house against their will. There was no crime committed. They said, okay, you're not a suspect, but you are a witness to this, along with me, my brother, the housekeeper, the gardener. Everybody who was in the premises at the time was labeled a witness. We had to go to the police station for 45 minutes for pieces of paper. We filled them in and we were let go. I was swatted. Nobody was hurt. There's no human trafficking. There's no women who were tied up. There's none of these things. It's all
bullshit. Tate sent me something. I want to play it here. Andrew, not Tristan, sent me this. He's on Rumble now. So if you want to see where he's at, maybe this is the website. Chat, WRL, should I go here when I get banned? Or another platform? Eventually it's going to happen. And there's a lot of people like saying, they don't care about you. You're not going to get banned. I'm not trying to sound like I'm like some special guy because I'm afraid of getting banned. But I know that last season of streaming, they gave me a copyright strike on my, no, not copyright strike. They gave me a community guideline strike on my channel. One, because I have a misinformation strike right now. And the second one was for nudity. While I had a shirt on, I know I'm shirtless now, but I had a nudity strike on my channel. And I wasn't able to stream until I appealed it. So I know that there's an agenda against me. And talking about this, you've seen it repeated before, is not something that you want you to hear. Well, they can cancel them off of mainstream social media, but I think that this is the start of a turn. The more this happens, people are really sick of it. People want freedom of speech, and a lot of people are going to go here. So check it out. Rumble.com, there he goes. I'm not getting paid to say this. I'm saying this because I support people who have gotten canceled, and I want freedom of speech back. And also the Tates, I made a lot of money reacting off of them. Made a lot of money reacting off of that. Tristan asked me to do that. Andrew asked me to do that. He just sent it to me. I bet he expected me to play it, though. But good luck to them on this new platform. That's dope. Shout out to Cozy TV, too. Other platforms, I haven't decided where I'm going to go when I get banned. I would need to get a deal. I can't just do it for free. Because sometimes I think about like starting my own platform, but that seems like a lot of work. Maybe I'll do it on the Creativity Kit. creativitykit.com on my own website. We'll see. But this is the start. This is the turn of it. I mean, Alex Jones was doing it before. Infowars.com. As soon as he got banned, that's where he went. Even Trump did it. When Trump got banned, he made his own social media app called Truth Social. I'm not really sure who uses it. I have it. I never use it. Gonna be honest. But the more they keep banning people like that, the more that people are gonna actively seek out information on other websites, which is good. It decentralizes the monopoly that all these corporations have on information. Kind of like crypto. They deleted Steve Will Do It and they will delete you, Sneako. Make the move. Yo, free Steve Will Do It. Free will do
What
it.
did you even get him for?
I don't even know, bro.
He didn't even do anything for it.
I gotta ask him. Yo, Chad, I'm gonna go on Bradley Martin's podcast next week. Shout out to Bradley Martin. He's best friends with Steve Will Do It. I think it's Steve Will Do It's birthday coming up. Happy birthday, Steve. You're a funny guy. We watch your videos on the TV here all the time before you got deleted. Let's support these people, man.
That's it.
Your job?